Thank you again for coming back for another Daily Bread Bible study for day 312, Saturday, November 7th, 2020, focusing on John chapters 16 and 17. In John chapter 16, we continue the last part of Jesus' farewell discourse to his disciples, and Jesus goes into more details about the hatred that is to be expected because of their following him. In John 16, verse 1, I have said these things to you to keep you from stumbling. They will put you out of the synagogues. Indeed, an hour is coming when those who kill you will think that by doing so they have offered worship to God. Jesus knows his words will be heavy on the hearts of his disciples, talking about his own death and also their persecution. Jesus wants them to know that they will never be alone. And that's a message for us today too, that we are never alone, and that the Spirit will work in us just as in his disciples to bring peace and truth and confidence in God's mission. Jesus connects this new life to the birthing process. In John 16:21, when a woman is in labor, she has pain because her hour has come. But when her child is born, she no longer remembers the anguish because of the joy of having brought a human being into the world. So you have pain now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take your life or your joy from you. No one will take your joy from you. Jesus is preparing his disciples for his death and resurrection so they will be able to make sense of God's victory at a later time. In John 16:33, I have said this to you so that in me you may have peace. In the world you face persecution, but take courage, I have conquered the world. Now, in John 17, we have the last act before Jesus is arrested, crucified, and killed. Jesus models a self-giving, other-focused love by praying. Not really praying for himself, because he already knows everything that he's going to say, everything that's going to happen, especially in the Gospel of John. But he's really praying for his disciples and narrating God's actions, both for them and also in some ways giving them ideas of how to act as well too. So Jesus prays. Here are some highlights starting in verse 9. I'm asking on their behalf. I'm not asking on behalf of the world, but on behalf of those who you gave me, because they are yours. In verse 11, Holy Father, protect them in your name that you have given me, so that they may be one as we are one. And verse 14, I have given them your word, and the world has hated them because of them, and because they do not belong to the world, just as I do not belong to the world. I am not asking you to take them out of the world, but I ask you to protect them from the evil one. They do not belong to the world, just as I do not belong to the world. Sanctify them in the truth. Your word is truth. And then in verse 24, closing us for today, Father, I desire that those also, whom you have given me, may be with me where I am, to see my glory, which you have given me because you loved me before the foundation of the world. And there are Jesus' final words before we go into his death and resurrection. Jesus prays for us. Jesus cares about us. His love for us is really self-giving, and he asks us and invites us to model that self-giving love to others. May you be inspired by the Holy Spirit as you feel led and called to make a positive impact in the world around you for the sake of Jesus. We will celebrate his death and resurrection next time.